Welcome to Big Game James TV. It's been a while since I've been on here. I apologize. I've been seeing and hearing a lot of things about this solar eclipse is about to come through. Now, I just think it's kind of, anybody else think it's kind of weird, odd how they making kids get out of school early, telling us a lot of things that's going on. They're telling us don't do this, don't do that, do this, do this, don't do that. Make sure you have food, this, that, and the third. Listen here, man. I remember like, what was it, like 4, 8 years, something back. I remember they did this crap before, and they told us, you go in the store, you see these little 3D glasses and shit like that. I remember they did it back in the, was it 4, 8 years? I can't remember. But I remember when I was in middle school, they did it, and we had the paper bags. We put a hole in the paper bags. She told us we weren't allowed to look at the sky, and I watched it go across. I remember that shit. Some of y'all might probably remember that too. So if I was in middle school, some of y'all around my age probably was in middle school. If not, y'all was in elementary school. It doesn't matter. That happened, and I remember, like, what was it, 8 years back? They did it when they told you couldn't look at it with your eye. You had to get these little weird ass glasses they had, and then they had told you can only look at it in your cell phones. You wasn't allowed to look at it with your eye. I remember that you couldn't look at it with your eye. You can only look at it if you had your iPhone, your Android. You couldn't do it with a tablet. I wonder what's going on. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of weird stuff been going on. They keep trying to sidetrack us from stuff that's been going on, like they keep doing with the celebrity stuff. Now, yeah, they did this stuff about the P. Diddy crap. They had Cat Williams doing this, and now they got this Nickelodeon crap going on, It's a lot of fuckery that's going on that trying to sidetrack us from what's going on. Like, no one's talking about this little war we got going on among us, because you got to realize when we go to war, it's because we want to go to war, not because they want to go to war. It's the stuff that we see and then we indulge, and when you put in our memory, they'll be like, okay, this, that, the third. Now you gotta remember, everything keeps saying history repeats itself and it's real. People sit there and say that's not real, but look at all the tragedies that's been going on. They got the bombings, they got the shootings and all that. They had one guy on there, he was in Russia walking around. He's like, yo, what the hell is going on? They telling us that in America, they telling us that this is what's going on. In all reality, it's quiet, it's peaceful. He in the ghettos of the so-called stuff like we call our hoods, he over there, peaceful. Live video, flagged him, threatened him, tell him he ain't allowed to do that no more, they gonna come after him. Why is it when you walking around, that's one thing that I don't like about these platforms now, they tell you can do this and do that, but when you try to do it, they won't let you do it. Why? Why is it? Like I said on my last one, why do I have to control what I got to do if it's live or if it's me? If I'm asking somebody a question and they answer it the way they think it's supposed to be answered, how they feel, why do I have to tell y'all that I'm on rights to this, that this is this educational purpose? Why do I got to do that? When they get on the TV and they do their news footage and their news capture, they don't tell us before everything they say. They don't say, this is for educational use only. Do your own resources. Why don't the news character tells y'all that? The caster tell you that. But every time we do something, we say that. People say, well, they tell you that whenever they don't. They don't put no caption on there whenever they do on their report. They do it as live. We're supposed to believe it. So why, when us people get on these platforms, we got to always acknowledge and tell y'all, do your own research. Do this, do that. The news anchor men don't do that when they get on, or anchor women don't do that. They don't do that at all. An anchor person does do that every time they get on their little their little news flash. There's not a ticker on the bottom of the screen telling you for educational use only. Why do we got to do that? And if we don't do that, we get flagged. They take our stuff down. Why? You don't get an anchor reporter taking their stuff down. They don't say everything that they're saying is for educational use only. So why do we have to do it? That's what I don't understand. But back to these eclipse bull crap. There's a lot of things that people don't realize is going on. They doing things to try to scare, try to program. I don't understand why that people are doing what they're doing to try to make us unaware of our situation, our surrounding. Like I said, if the shit hits the fan, you gotta know what the hell you about to do. You gotta know how you doing it. I've been talking about a lot of things for years. You know, I've been around my elderly people. You know, when I say elderly people, I'm saying, I ain't gonna say elderly people. I've been around a lot of smart older people as I'm growing up, and I was just ear hustling. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, hey, come here, sit down. Let me tell you something. You know, my grandma, my granddad, my mom, and my dad. They've been telling me all that stuff. You know what I mean? And I sat there and said, it was one time my granddad was talking that shit, talking that knowledge. I said, man, something wrong with him. But he always told me, when you talk that truth and it's real, people come around and threaten you. People come around and tell you, you better stop doing that. Or people try to offer you something. Oh, if you come with us, I'll make sure you cool, this, that, and third. Why you gotta set out to do that? Why can't you keep doing your stuff? You know, I don't have a problem. You know, I don't care about, you know, people viewing. I got 30 or I got 80 more. I got 80 people viewing my stuff, but only 5 or 10 people like my stuff. Only 3 or 4 people comment on my stuff. 5, 6 people comment on my stuff. 10 people. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. The views, hey, you can have 30 views and only 5 comments and 6 likes. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know, people get mad, you know, when I see a lot of people talking that shit when they talk about when they on the blue joint with the F on it. You know what I'm talking about? They be on there and they be like, damn, I got 300 views, but only 5 people liked it. Okay, well, why you get mad? Somebody watching it, somebody looking at you. Why you gotta have somebody comment on your stuff for? I don't care about that. I can have 50 views. Like I said, I can have 50, 20, 30 views. I can shit. Sometimes I do videos, I only have like, 25 views and 60 or 80 something people follow. I don't care about that. You know, I don't care about that. See, a lot of people care about numbers. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about that. You know, but, you know, this is what I do. I talk off the joint. I talk off the head. I just jump around. But back to that eclipse stuff. Don't y'all think that's kind of odd? And then yesterday, did y'all boy, well, I'm in PA, but it started raining. It smelled like sulfur. Uh, I washed the car. I washed a couple of my vehicles off yesterday, and I come out there today. Now, mind you, it was raining. It's what almost 12. It's like almost 12:20 p.m. in Eastern time. So I come outside and I looking at my shit, and next thing you know, I got like white stuff all over my windows and stuff on it. You know, it kind of remind you of you know how you have soap on something and you let it dry. So like if you ever wash your car and you like just wash it and you're in the sun and you walk around the car and then you forget to spray it off, you come back and it's dried up. That's what the cars look like now. It's like look like it's dried up ash on the car, you know. And also realize too, you know, we in the era where, you know, they call it pollen, and there's some people that's doing researches ain't looking. There's there's metal in it. Well, listen, it's called industrial fallout. There's a lot of metal in the air, period. We breathe it all day, every day. I guarantee you, if we start wearing masks like they want us to do, but we got to wear the masks that has the filters in them, and we change them every day, instead of they tell you like every 2 weeks or every week or whatever, we change them every day and we look at them. If we're outside in the public, like even when you in Wally World, you start going to Wally World, you start pulling stuff out. That place is dirty as shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. You got a Wally World around y'all and you go in there and you come out, you sneezing, you're coughing, you in there, you're coughing, you're sneezing, shit's moving around while you in the store, all kinds of shit. You know, it irritates me because it's like for 2 years straight, they made sure everything was clean, everything was dust free. Some people did, some people didn't. Now you look at it, they don't give a shit about what the fuck's going on. Like what happened? Everything changed now all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? And then they bring in this weird stuff out, these weird people out of nowhere, like, oh, this. Now remember, stop you right there. Remember what I told y'all before. What they do. They go after the older people. They do a race war. They gotta do the cops. They did that with Rodney King. They gotta do the cops where a bad cop messing with a minority, whatever, if he's black or if he's Mexican, whatever, they do that. And then what I tell you folks, they go after the LGBT community, they go after them, they do some kind of hate crime over there, and they just trying to upward everybody. And what was the last thing? Well, there's close to the last thing I said about the animals. They do with the pets things, you know what I'm saying? And what was the last thing I tell you to do? They do the kids. And when I say about the kids, folks, we got the Nickelodeon surfacing now about Nickelodeon, how some dude was doing stuff for Nickelodeon. Um, you know, it's to the point where you sit there and say, when is enough is enough? All these sad tracking, all these distractions from what? Like, what are y'all afraid of for us to just say it? Now, all this stuff been out there. All this stuff been out there. People's been doing researches, people's looking. But like I keep trying to explain to people, how do you know? Because, now when the orange guy that was in charge, we're going to say the orange guy because I don't want to get flagged for it. But when he was in charge, he told y'all, news is fake. Fake news, beware of fake news. He said that, right? Then he also put it on there where you can research anything you want up. You can find. Before it was a block on it, was a censor on it. You couldn't do that. He opened the door to all that. So now everybody's getting mad. They're getting mad because boys is finding out about stuff. So guess what they're doing now? When you look in your search engine and you type in search, pay attention. You go to your search engine, it has history of recent searches, the most researches. And you look at it, there's a lot of stuff that's researching about people, networking, like the Nickelodeon stuff. A lot of people's on there thinking about doing research on Cat Williams, Shannon. They doing all these researches on these things because they're topics. They got you. That's what they want. So guess what? Now you got a top topic that you're researching on. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to alternate it. Just like when they talk about people's birthdays, their birthdays and shit like that. There is no way that you got a dude in his 40s. He's 25 now. You got somebody who's 25, they're 16 now. Understand what I'm saying? It's weird. So then now people are playing as a male, a female, as a female, a male. It's disguised, you know what I'm saying? Beware of disguise. They always told you about that in that book. You gotta be aware of disguise. People come all shapes, forms, and sizes. That's what they're talking about. And then they throw it in our face and they put the mask where you see the videos where people's putting the masks and stuff on. They got Mike Tyson on there. They got Mike Tyson in the background. How do we know when this fight come on that is really Mike Tyson? It's not somebody acting like Mike Tyson. Understand what I'm saying? How do we not know that Mike Tyson's locked up somewhere when this fight comes and they got somebody else playing as him? The world is a stage. William Shakespeare said that bullshit. The world is a stage. It's a stage for acting. Every time you look, you say, damn, that person look like that person. This person sound like this person. Because it is that person. You go to sports. I play sports. You go to sports. You always sit there and look at people like, man, that boy's a robot. Man, he's a monster. And y'all already know. Why you think they came out with Space Jam? They was warning us that the NBA players, some of them are aliens. They put MJ on there. They call MJ the GOAT because he's the one that exposed the aliens. He exposed the robots. He exposed the droids. That's why you don't really, you see them, but they're not out there like that. Y'all boys remember when they did the swabbing that they did for NFL. You see, they don't do that no more. They did that, and there was one guy on there. It said his saliva wasn't a normal saliva. It wasn't human. I forget the guy's name. I think he played with the Carolina Panthers. But they said his swab wasn't human. Now, before every season, when they do training season and stuff, they do a physical, just like they do when you go to a job, how they give you blood, the TB, all that. They make you piss in the cup. Well, in sports, they do all that. They swab, they do it for drugs, all that shit, the enhancement. They do it all like that for sports. So when they did it, this guy came up and his saliva or something wasn't human. He wasn't this, that, and the third. Just like they keep saying that the T Hill boy ain't human because of the way he's doing and shit like that. Y'all got to understand, they had movies out like this. They had movies out like this to warn us. But you see, they call them entertainers. They're not entertaining us, they're entertaining them. I was an entertainer. I know what it's about. It is what it is on that avenue. It wasn't about, it was to the point where once you're aware of your surroundings, then you got to get out. You got to get out. You got to get out your surroundings. See, a lot of people are scared and they don't know what to do. So they want to mingle, blend in, and want to follow the trend. So they don't want, they don't want to be lost. They want to be found, but they don't want to be lost at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? So, anyways, there's a lot of stuff that's going on when you start looking at different things. When you're like, how's this person to go? If that person to go, how is he? Well, in a Space Jam, they also talked about the virus that came along that was affecting the NBA and all this other shit. The virus was that bullshit that came out in 19. And people sit there. If you don't believe me, look at the Space Jam. Space Jam has it right there in your face, telling you we are playing with aliens. See, he had to go out to space to play with what? Aliens. The Jetsons. Aroid, he was going out of space. He was on the hoverboard that is out now. It was a space board. They got them out now. He was playing amongst aliens. He was playing amongst robots. He's playing it. Just pay attention. Everything has been in our face for years. They had the They Live. That just came up now where there's a lens over it in I'm not gonna say where it is, but y'all know if y'all did y'all shit. There's a glass, the person puts it up, you see all these things in the air. He got flagged. They threatened to kill him. He disappeared now. The movie came out like that, was called They Live. The star in it played in it. He all of a sudden went crazy. He killed himself. There's a lot of stuff that's going on now that people don't pay attention to, and it's scary, Once you start thinking about stuff like I'm Robot, Legend, shit, hell, even the Resident Evils when they came out. You know what I'm saying? The Resident Evils came out, they based it on a video game and it came out, and it was like, damn, this is some real shit. And then you sit there like, how are they thinking about all this stuff? They taking the blood. They taking the blood. They taking the blood. That's how they getting everybody conscious. And you sit there, you ever watch a movie, you be like, damn, I just had a dream about that. Man, that was scary. I did it. So guess what? You don't go there get checkups now. They flagging you. You don't do what you're supposed to do. They flag you. They got this, and I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all know y'all keep getting these Lejeune shit, right? You ain't never been in no shit. And then they tell you, I see the little commercial of the little when I'm scrolling, it says, guess what? You might not been in there, but guess what? You could be eligible for it. What's that sound like to you? It sound like that PPA, because where I'm from, we call it the PPA money. That, somebody else call it IPB, whatever it is. But that's free money from them. A lot of shit going on out here that you gotta pay attention to. You just gotta be aware of it. But like I said, there's so much stuff that just like with that little eclipse shit that's going around, people talking about. Man, do you know if you see, you see a lot of people don't. I'm gonna bring it out there. I might offend some people, but I mean, it is what it is. This is for what I think is gonna happen. This is not what is real, whatever. I gotta say that because I don't want to get flagged. I told y'all about that at the beginning of the movie, but in the video. But don't you think it's kind of odd that they tell you can't look at this thing? And I'm on the East Coast. They say the East is the beast and the East feeds the beast. The East feeds the monster. I'm from the East Side. I'm from the East Side of the United States. I'm from the East Coast. So the East, the big East, the East, the beast, feed the beast, East the beast. The whole East Coast is supposed to be completely dark compared to the West Coast. The West Coast got a little couple grays, but the East Coast is black. Okay. They tell you the bearing of the lights, make sure you got the lights, or make sure your curtains are black. Don't let the light come in. You hear knocking at the door, don't open the door. You hear somebody outside, don't open. Well, that's what the skinwalkers are. The skinwalkers do shit like that. I seen videos where the animals are sitting on their 2 feet and they walking and talking. I seen the one where the dog was in the bathroom. The lady said they was leaving and opened the door like it was a real person. These are things that's been here for the longest. They tell you can come all shapes, size, and forms. Skinwalking, all that stuff. Different heritages, different beliefs. They believe in different things. We believe in entities, all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm an Akanishi Indian. We got all kind. My ancestors was big on that kind of stuff. The tobacco smoking, all that stuff. I'm an Akanishi. I'm Akanishi Cherokee. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on that is like, damn, like my granddad told me about this shit. My granddad warned us about this shit. But it is what it is. But back to that, it's like they tell you don't look at the air. Like, do you ever think about everything on this earth that we have is supposed to be for us, like the vegetables and stuff like that. It irritates me. I'm gonna talk about the religion where they sit there and say about, the plants is here, you're not supposed to eat that. You're not supposed to eat animals, but then you don't see it now. But I remember back in the day, now they gonna try to say it's a Mandela effect, but y'all remember back in the day they had Jesus was supposed to be on the Last Supper, and he had a pig on the motherfucking table. Now, how the hell is there a pig there whenever he didn't believe in it? And then also, he's throwing up the peace sign like the devil, the Buffett was doing and all this other shit. I pay attention to stuff like that. But now you don't see that no more. In a couple pictures, they had him with the upside down cross on. But then you don't see that now. But they tell you it's a Mandela effect. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, now who says when this stuff happens that you don't go outside? And then, they say when you see this, it's supposed to cleanse whatever you have in your body. Is supposed to be out of your body, right? So now say you outside and you're looking around and you're seeing all these entities in the air floating. Now, when you see this, what's the first thing you're gonna think about? Oh, it's a rapture. Now, we've been lied to about certain things. You just gotta do your own research. I'm not gonna try to piss nobody off when I say shit like that. But I really think that when something like that happens, boys are gonna be like, oh yeah, that's the blue thing effect. Oh, it's a rapture. Well, guess what? How do you know? That might be cleansing. It might be cleansing somebody. You my shit. Somebody you lay in bed with every day, all day, every day might be an entity. You don't know. People say I get weird vibes about certain people. Yeah, because that's real shit. This is real shit. This is the spiritual shit that they did not want anybody to know about. It's starting to come to light. It's pissing a lot of people off because everybody's doing their own thing. But like I said, what would you do? They tell you look up there. Some people's eyes are supposed to change shapes and do extra things. Like, what would you do? Your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your kids, your grandma, your grandparents, somebody you looked up to all your life, somebody you got your knowledge to all your life, turns into one of them. What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? Comment below. What would you do if that happens and you roll over and you look and your loved one or somebody is a creature, is an alien, is somebody that's not supposed to be here? What would you do? You're driving down the road in your car, you're in the car with your family, and you got about 6 kids, you got about 5 kids, and out of your 5 kids, 3 of them are regular, and the other 3 or 2 are reptins and stuff. What would you do? Your companion, your other side, you're riding and this goes down or this happens. That person is that. What would you do? You look up at the sky, you looking around, and you look next to you, and the person your wife or who, and their eyes start, and they start making noises like they creatures. What would you do? Driving down the road and everybody just start crashing, and you looking like, damn, what's going on? Everybody's crashing, everybody's muting, everybody is mutilating and shit to what they're supposed to be. What would you do? Is this the reason why they say stay in the house, stay where you're at? Close the door. Is that what they're saying? Your neighbor knocking on the door. Oh, I can't believe this shit. Look, look. You looking at the motherfuckers as a snake. What the fuck would you do? What would you do? I don't even want to think about what I would do. I think it's gonna be a lot of changes going on in this world after that day. They preparing us for something that might happen. And another thing, why are they making the National Guard in for this event? Why? If it's not supposed to be that serious, why? Is this a new apocalypse coming? What the fuck? You walking around and you're seeing the snaps, the fiends or zombies, because people keep saying that they are. What happened if they really are zombies? What happened if they really are? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna react to that? Every family has a fiend. Every family has a snap. I'm just saying, I'm being real with you, cuz. Shit, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man? Like, I don't know, man. It's a lot of bullshit going on. But what are you gonna believe? What are you gonna believe? Who are you gonna believe in? If you're saying that God ain't real, I don't know what y'all do. But you're saying if a God's this, a God is that. Man, you better hope somebody's on the other side or somebody comes down or something, because this is crazy. You know, we just found out about the fucking pyramids and shit. How what was it, Gaza? How in Gaza it was a power plant. It was a place where they had energy at. So all this time we was sitting there thinking, is that and it was energy. So what else is going on that we finding out about? Huh? You know, they trying to put holes in the little film pyramid and shit. I seen that somebody research did it in Alaska. I mean, in Antarctica, they put a whole ass hole in there and put damn chips up. They look like motherfucking sci-fi. Sci-fi, some of y'all boys ain't in with the jewelry. Sci-fi is the blue stones. But they said it was sci-fi. They was touching it, moving around. It was a mountain. It was shrinking. They drilled holes and shit and tunnels and shit down there. They said, man, they went in there, but within motherfucking weeks, the hole was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. They had a fucking drill they put in that motherfucker. The drill just blew, it just disintegrated because the hole was getting smaller, it was shrinking. They said it's blue on certain parts where they drilled in. It was regular, and then they looked. They said it was a blue sky. How is that if it's in the bottom of the ice? How is that? How is that? I'm dropping gem, folks. I talk that shit. How is that? But see, I gotta be careful when I do shit, cause somebody gonna be on there like, oh yeah, you're full of shit. Okay, yeah, I'm full of shit. Whatever. Um, there's more shit that I gotta talk about, but I gotta do it live, you know, because you know when you do these things, they only give you certain things. So I might have to try to do it live or something. But you know, I've been out for a while. I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. There's a lot of shit too. Like I might just start just recording stuff when I'm be out and about because I be talking that shit. I be chilling with my nappy head critter and we just be going on. You know, she don't want to be on camera all like that all the time. But I might start just recording me just talking shit because I be talking that shit, you know what I'm saying? But like spiritual shit. Yeah, though about that shit, man. I'm an Akanishi Cherokee. I know about all that spirit. You see that? Akanishi Cherokee. You know, I do all. It's been spiritual, man. I've been spiritual. The vibes, the mood swings, the energy, the light. You know, the entities, all that shit. And I'm pretty sure